Hello everyone, I'm Quinn and welcome to Away in Rome. Today we're going to be talking about flying. So flights. Some people are made for them, some people just aren't. Luckily, I fall into the former camp. I love being in the air, the excitement's always bubbling up inside of me when I'm on the plane. Plus, I have pretty short legs, so I'm never really hurting for leg room once I'm in my seat, which is a pretty big plus. Apart from the small advantages, there are a few things that I've made a habit of that have made my time on long-haul flights a lot more bearable, and that's what I want to share in this video. First of all, I always make sure that I have an abundance of entertainment. I would recommend downloading a bunch of content from your favorite streaming service. I like to give myself as many options as possible by downloading a mix of dramas, movies, sitcoms, everything, because I never know what kind of mood I'm going to be in once I'm in the air. On my last flight, I had a combination of the reality show The Circle, a French dramedy called Family Business, iCarly, and also a really bad rom-com that I don't even want to mention because it was so atrocious. On top of that, I had a few history podcasts downloaded and a book that I was trying to get to, and this flight was only 6 hours. You don't want to be forced to settle for whatever the airline has on their TVs. You might be disappointed, and that's a long time to be bored. And you also don't want to be stuck clearing through photos and notes on your phone for several hours because you forgot to prepare in advance. Not like I've done that 1 or 2 times. Next, make sleep as easy for yourself as possible. I love sleep, probably more than the average person, but I still have some things I do to make sure I can get at least a few hours in on the plane. And these 4 things that I'm about to share with you have made sleep a guarantee on every single flight I've been on since I started employing them. First, you need a sleep pillow, and not just any sleep pillow, but the right one for you. I personally like to use the Turtle, which wraps around your neck. It also is pretty compact, so it doesn't take up too much space in your bag. But the thing that I like about this pillow is that it kind of holds your head up and keeps you from leaning on the person next to you, having your head trail into the aisle as the snacks come by, and it just cradles you really nicely and keeps you from getting a gnarly neck crick when you wake up. I love this thing, and it's made sleep a whole lot more comfortable while I'm in the air. And next, sleep pills. I got these natural acting sleep aids after doing a quick search on Amazon. I haven't done any clinical trials or anything, but even when I'm pretty wide awake, these things have knocked me out within 30 minutes for at least a couple hours. So give it a shot. You don't really have anything to lose. If you want to do your own search for something that might work for you better, that works too. And to block out any of the extra light around you, I'd recommend an eye mask and maybe even a scarf to put over your head to make it extra dark. There's just the natural light that's going on in the cabin, but there's also always that person when you're on a night flight and they choose to open up their window and just flood the entire cabin with bright sunshine. We don't want that guy to interrupt your sleep, so this will make sure that you have your nice little cave set for you that no one can disturb. My favorite sleep masks are the ones that, I can't think of a better analogy, but look like a little bra. They have a dome over each of the eyes, and I just think those really seal in the darkness. So if you see those just when you're walking through Target or TJ Maxx, just pick them up and give them a shot. They're not that expensive, and they can make a huge difference for you. And lastly, airplanes are noisy, so I'd recommend earplugs or even better, a sleep podcast. My favorite sleep podcast is called Sleep With Me, and I don't know what kind of voodoo this guy does, but it knocks me out every time. I found out about this podcast when I was battling some insomnia during my early years of college, and it's been a mainstay for me ever since, even once I started sleeping normally again. The formula of this podcast is that the host tells stories that are interesting enough to take you off the worries of your day, but boring enough that you're not staying awake to hear what happens next. They're really nonsensical, and he just kind of meanders and goes on these tangents, and you don't even know how he ends up where he ends up. But I usually don't make it past the first 15 or 20 minutes of any episode because they work. With those things, you should be sleeping like a baby in no time. So you have your entertainment and your sleep taken care of. Now let's make sure we're taking care of your stomach. I'm the type of person that tries to buy as little food in the airport as possible just because of the principle of it. It's way too expensive. So I'm usually going to the airport with a giant bag of snacks, and even a meal if my flight is really, really long. And I can't forget my trusty water bottle to take in with me and fill to the brim once I get past security. The food on the plane is not appealing to me in any way. I'm already miserable on a 10-hour flight. Why would I make my life even worse by eating tepid mystery meat and 10 tiny pretzels that will never satisfy me? In order to give myself something to look forward to, I pack some snacks that I know will satiate me, like granola, protein bars made with whole foods, or a bag of nuts. And for bigger meals, I make sure to pack something sturdy. Think a kale salad with the dressing on the side, of course, or a big veggie burger. Things that you don't mind eating at room temperature. This way you know it'll last you the entire flight, and also you'll have something to look forward to and keep you from becoming this ravenous monster that's going to land and just be a nightmare. And lastly, I want to encourage you to stretch. I think we've all seen those weirdos that are walking up and down the aisles, kind of doing some back stretches, stretching their legs in the back. Well, you know what? I want you to be that weirdo. You don't have to do it in the aisles, but find a nice corner in the back of the cabin, maybe even go into the bathroom and get some stretches in. Our bodies aren't made to be sitting for such long periods of time in these tiny cramped spaces. So get your blood flowing by doing some lunges, maybe some leg swings, stretch your arms across your body a little, some squats. This will keep your muscles nice and warm and keep you from feeling super cramped for days to come. By implementing these 4 things, having an abundance of entertainment, making sleep easy for yourself, packing your own food, and getting some stretches in, I hope to make your flight at least 50% better. Let me know if there's anything you do on these flights to make them a bit easier for yourself. They're not the most fun part of this travel lifestyle, but they're necessary. So let's all put our heads together and see what we can do to make our next trips as smooth as we possibly can. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.